So, there we have it, Gasheads. Bristol Rovers have won at the Valley against Charlton Athletic for the first time in over 60 years. A John Marquis double has given us all 3 points, and we head back to Bristol happy and in ninth position. Now, that was a real game of two halves for me. Looking at my notes now, and at half time, I was not a happy fan. Very sloppy from Rovers. We looked very vulnerable. Belshaw had to make quite a few big saves to keep the score at 1-0. And, if you would have told me 20 minutes in that we were going to come away with all 3 points in that game, I would not have believed you. Once again, it hasn't quite worked for Luke McCormick in the middle. When I saw the team sheet before the game, I thought we're probably going to struggle without Finlay and Rossiter in there. Coots and McCormick isn't a centre-mid partnership that we've seen often this season, and didn't particularly work. I feel for McCormick. He's obviously trying, but at the minute he just looks a bit like a headless chicken. He's making his tackles, but the passes are going astray. And like I said, we're very lucky to be only 1-0 down going into half time. But we come out in the second half. Barton has brought on Luca Hall, taken off James Connolly, which initially for me I was a little bit dubious about. I thought one of our better performing centre backs over the last 1 or 2 seasons, and not necessarily who I would have been bringing off, but he did it, and it seemed to have worked. Rovers came out with a bit more attacking impetus, and we looked really bright straight from kickoff in the second half. John Marquis, his 2 goals, I think it's a pretty good summary of what sort of player he is and what sort of goals he scores. He capitalised on 2 Charlton errors, but they came through his hard work and his perseverance. He was harrying the defender. He won the ball for himself, and 2 excellent finishes, really composed, not poachers finishes at all, but that's what an experienced finisher does at this level. He took his time, picked a corner, and he effectively won Rovers 3 points in that game. And I think he's had a difficult start to life at Rovers. It's been difficult to displace Collins, Coburn, Loft, but fantastic from him, and that's now 4 goals in 2 games for him, and it does give Joey Barton a real selection dilemma ahead of the Boxing Day fixture against Wycombe Wanderers. Other notes from the games, I thought, Gibson and Thomas looked really assured at the back, won most of their aerial battles. Coops looked good in midfield. Initially, I thought it was a little bit slow and lackadaisical in the middle, but as the game progressed and we went a bit more attacking, Coops could just sit back and do what he does best, which is dictate the play. Once again, Coburn was fantastic up top, holding the ball up, allowing players to move around him. And, Barton said it before, but the maturity he shows for a player of his age is outstanding. Just it was a brilliant performance in the second half. And when it got to 75 minutes, we're 2-1 up. And I thought, in games gone by, we may have potentially sat back, invited the pressure on, a bit like we did against Bolton. But credit to Barton and credit to the team. They kept driving at Charlton. There was that opportunity with Collins' cross, or Coburn's even, where Marcus at the back stick just hit a bit too hard at him. But, it's really positive signs for Rovers now. Like I said in the introduction, we're up to 9th place now. And, you can see the confidence levels are really high with this squad. Going into the busy festive period, we haven't won at Charlton for 50 years. That's huge. The confidence that's going to give our team is massive. And I think as a Rovers fan now, the only place I'm looking is up. And if you would have said to me a couple of years ago that we'd be 9th in League One and pushing playoffs, I wouldn't have believed you. But here we are. Credit to Barton and the team. It's looking really positive. I'll leave it there. But if you have enjoyed the video, give it a like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.